It's Tuesday, April 20th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, we take you inside the Heritage Museum, another Bahamian coaching at the highest level of women's college basketball, and DeAndre Ayton leading the Suns against the Bucks in a matchup of NBA heavyweights. So let's start the morning off right. If your dreams don't scare you, they are too small. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And good morning, everybody. I'm Charles Fisher, and talking about dreams, I have a confession to make this morning. I have two problems. Not besides my mouth getting me in trouble all the time. I have a problem going to sleep, and then I have a problem waking up in the morning.
But you're having insomnia? What's going on at home? What's happening there?
I don't know. I just like to stay up in the night, watch basketball, watch that big game last night with DeAndre Ayton. I don't know what move that was just now, but he flattened him like
to kill that guy.
He flattened him like a patty cake. That's coming up in sport. We're in for an interesting show this morning.
I know Johnny Canoe is opening.
Johnny Canoe is opening. Yes, we have a feature on that. As always, you're looking nice and smoocious this morning. Thanks to Eye Candy. They did a spectacular job.
And you had some makeup as well.
All that you got to get freshen up now and again to keep up with you in the morning and to start the morning off right. But before we do things, we always started off with our Lloyd Allen out there on the street. Good morning, Lloyd. How is it so far for you?
Well, of course, good morning, Fisher and LaDawn. It's a great start to your Tuesday morning. And good morning, Bahamas. Of course, your first look at traffic coming in from the intersection here from Blue Hill Road and Soldier Road. Now, it's a little busy, so forgive me if I'm a little distracted. A lot of traffic moving in this area. And so, of course, if you need to utilize this route to get to your morning destination, you should be able to do so nice and smoothly, with the exception of this traffic light right here behind me that's been down for some time. Now we're going to get to the details of that in a moment. But first, painting a picture of traffic conditions around the Capitol, we want to remind road users of a number of roadwork projects that are ongoing. If you happen to approach any of those, we advise that you approach with caution and with care. We also reported a number of down traffic lights, which included Palm Tree Avenue and Market Street. Now, we just passed there this morning. It's back in operation, and so, of course, drivers approaching that intersection should be able to do so nice and smoothly without much obstruction. But back to this here traffic light. Just yesterday, we spoke with Constable Prince Dean Jr. from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, who gave this advice to motorists approaching intersections like this.
Vehicles traveling south on Blue Hill Road, that's the right of way because Blue Hill is the main street. Soldier Road is the corner. However, persons at the four-way stop must stop. Give way to the vehicle on the main street of Blue Hill Road. However, those of you who tend to have these driving angers and issues, we ask that you don't have road rage. We continue to be cautious and courteous to other road users. Drive with all due care and attention.
Now, of course, that's some advice for persons approaching intersections like this. And we also want to remind you of conditions on Family Islands. Of course, we've spoken with the police force who indicated that they've had some serious accidents for persons speeding right before curfew. And so we advise that you take your time, give yourself about an hour head start before the start of curfew on those respective islands. That's a quick look at your Tuesday morning traffic. LaDawn and Fisher, back to you guys in studio.
For those who are about to head out after watching the morning edition show, we are waking up to 79 degrees on the outside, winds southwest at 5 miles per hour, humidity 88%, a frontal boundary just north of the area will trigger pockets of unsettled weather over portions of the northwest Bahamas as it lifts northward. Meanwhile, a high pressure ridge dominates elsewhere as a shift eastwards throughout tonight. Very be cloudy, hot and humid with isolated showers. Thunderstorms mainly in the extreme northwest Bahamas today, turning warm tonight. Showers may be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times across the extreme northwest Bahamas. As for the central and southeast Bahamas, weather sunny and hot with a stray shower or two possible today, turning fair and warm tonight. The daytime high temperature should reach about 91 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low 75. Back to your extended forecast for Wednesday, cloudy and hot with scattered showers and thunderstorms in the extreme northwest Bahamas. Sunny and warm elsewhere, 86 in the day, 72 at night. For Thursday, variably cloudy and humid with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the vicinity of the cold front in the northwest Bahamas. Mostly sunny and hot with a slight chance of a few light showers in the central and southwest Bahamas. 84 high temperature, 70 low for the night. Weekend heading into Friday, staying basically the same.
Let's take a look now at stories making news headlines.
The Centers for Disease Control upgrading its COVID-19 level for the Bahamas to the very highest, which is level 4. It's a warning to avoid all travel here. The CDC reasoning that due to the current situation in the Bahamas, even fully vaccinated travelers may be at risk for getting and spreading COVID-19 variants. However, in the event one must travel to the Bahamas, the CDC advises that one be fully vaccinated, wear a mask, stay 6 feet from others, avoid crowds, and wash hands frequently. 55 new cases of COVID-19 reported in the Ministry of Health's latest release. 9 are the results of an April 1st testing exercise at an Abaco-based construction company. Another 21 are here in New Providence, 12 over in Grand Bahama, 4 in Andros, and 1 in Eleuthera. The remaining 8 have locations pending. This puts the overall case count nationwide to 9,791. There are now 45 people in hospital, 4 of which are in the intensive care unit. 28 more have been recovered, taking that total to 9,059. A 9th grader at the H.O. Nash Junior High School has tested positive for COVID-19, forcing the early dismissal of school for deep cleaning on Monday. According to education officials, the student had not been on campus for a week or more, and classes are expected to resume today. While the situation is being addressed, Education Director Marcellus Taylor says they are closely monitoring several other campuses.
I think we have about 5 or 6 active sites in New Providence, and maybe one also in the Family Island. It may involve altogether about 15 individuals who might be either suspected or confirmed cases. We have a protocol that dictates how we deal with these matters. It basically involves contacting the surveillance unit or the surveillance unit contacting us, and us also contacting the Department of Environmental Health Services.
The Anglican Central Education Authority also dealing with COVID-19. According to a release, a series of non-sanctioned events took place prior to the return from Easter break. 2 positive COVID-19 cases have shown up at the Bishop Michael Eldon School, and a mandatory 10-day quarantine has been imposed for all teachers, students, and staff. The school has returned to a virtual learning format and will resume for face-to-face on April 26. The Stapleton School wrapping up its final day as a vaccination site on Monday. Site manager, Nurse Desmona Henfield, says the numbers this past week were encouraging.
This site is a very special site because it is actually catered to the disabled population, the disabled community. You see here we have a drive-up area for those persons who are unable to come out of their car, so we're catering to them, going to them to give them vaccines, also observing them in their vehicle, which makes it a whole lot easier for them. Still some persons making up their mind, and so other sites will be able to have those persons vaccinated as well as they come.
Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Darren Henfield, representing Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, at the 14th Special Emergency Virtual Meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community last Thursday. The volcano eruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines dominated the discussions. Prime Minister Minnis spoke about the meeting as he declared the country's support for the Caribbean community.
At this particular point in time to assist them at least with $100,000 and we'd assess our position as we move forward. I know that one of our vessels is en route to Suriname, which means that they would have to pass St. Vincent. And my Foreign Affairs Minister is in discussion with all the other CARICOM nation, so that if they have any supplies that they want taken to St. Vincent, as our vessels leave, we would stop to the various ports and carry those supplies. But I would urge all Bahamians that if they have any additional supplies, water or whatever they want to send, please inform NEMA, inform the Defense Force, and we'd be more than happy to take them down while our vessel is en route to Suriname.
A heavyweight matchup in the NBA last night. DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns on the road in Milwaukee against the Bucks. The Suns trailed by 7 heading to the fourth quarter, but they were able to battle back and force overtime where they escaped with a 128-127 win. DeAndre had 20 points and 13 rebounds. The Suns with another tough test tomorrow. They're in the city of brotherly love against the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, around the world, some flags are mounted green today to represent what has become known as 40-20. This morning, our Lloyd Allen looks into some of the scientific evidence to explain marijuana and its use.
Demonized for decades, marijuana use has been described as a deviant activity and classified alongside other heavy hitters like LSD, cocaine, and ecstasy, to name a few, as a substance which detracts from a person's greater potential. But new information is apparently helping to demystify cannabis, diving into its health benefits. There are hundreds of chemical compounds in the plant, many of which are cannabinoids. Experts say cannabinoids are chemicals which are the source of hemp and marijuana. Now, while scientists have identified at least 113 different chemicals in the plant, they say 2 have become popular for treating pain, plus a wide variety of conditions and symptoms, including cancer, inflammation, chronic pain, and mental illness. Today, April 20th, or 420 as it is known, is celebrated in some places as the time of year where marijuana users revel in the use of the drug. This is also cannabis culture slang for marijuana and hashing consumption, especially smoking around the time 4:20 p.m., and also refers to cannabis-oriented celebrations that take place annually. Now, we're not encouraging the use of the drug by any means. However, some experts say there is some truth to its benefits. According to the January 2020 preliminary report from the Bahamas National Commission on Marijuana, cannabis has been used as a medicine for more than 12,000 years. The report confirms it was first recorded in the herbal, one of the oldest known pharmacopoeias, during the reign of the Chinese Emperor Shen Yang, who was considered a pioneer in both herbal medicine and Chinese agriculture, incorporate cannabis in traditional Chinese medicine. Co-chair for the Bahamas Commission on Marijuana, Quinn McCartney, says the possibilities are endless.
Well, certainly there are several economic activities and benefits, as you can see from what's happening around the world. There are 2 principal industries: the hemp industry, which is sort of which uses the lower levels of THC producing marijuana plants, and then of course there's the medical marijuana industry and the adult use industry. The medical marijuana is one that's growing in its spread and use around the world, and that itself calls for an industry on its own, producing products that can provide medical grade marijuana for use to cure known ailments.
McCartney also explained some of the benefits for persons suffering health challenges.
Studies have shown that medical cannabis has some significant benefits in certain ailments, and we feel that the government should look at these options as a possibility. And we're also looking at the hemp industry, which again is a different strain of the marijuana plant, or a lower grade THC level in the hemp plants. But this is also a viable option that could be considered by the country as well.
Very informative story there. Well, they say museums are good for business, and this bodes true for employees of the Heritage Museum, who say since opening they've been able to recap the footsteps of Bahamian history to visitors and locals, all while getting major accolades in the process. Take a look.
It's originally called the Mountbatten House and has been around for about 165 years. But 7 years ago, the Heritage Museum was birthed to retell the tales of Bahamian history. Some of the historical artifacts, like the gift shop and old age family island trinkets, have become a staple nestled inside the popular tourism attraction.
We have postcards that date back to historical times, such as where we introduced the pirates and so forth. We also have Speed Week, one of the highlights in the museum. We have the posters, we have t-shirts, souvenir t-shirts, and we also have a kiddie corner, and it takes us back to how persons lived on the family islands in those days. And we did a replica of it with the thatch palm. And if you notice some of the artifacts that are underneath there, they would have actually been found on the family islands, such as the chimney pots. We have the corn grinder, the coffee brewer. We have the iron that they used to use with coal. All of those things, even down to the, when they picked peas, the shifter that they would use to fan the peas or to shift through the peas. So we have quite a few artifacts.
But the richest part of our ancestral history, or the slave trade, was not left out, though. Morris says it's a must-see by the thousands of tourists that trickle into the museum during the busy touristic season.
We show you how the slaves were transported, how they came to the Bahamas, and then we move on to show you the clothing that they wore. We have the shackles. We also have the posters that were posted around town that were used for actually auctioning slaves. And as you go down, the house is a revolving house. So as we come out of the slavery era, we show where slavery ended and came the rise of prominent Bahamians.
Maxine, who's only been a historian for 6 years at the Heritage Museum, says the experience in telling the stories of our history has been nothing short of amazing. She boasts that the museum has received rave reviews by TripAdvisor as a must-see by visitors that flock to our shores.
The slavery room is actually the most traumatic room. We spend at least 15 to 20 minutes in there, and we have some persons that leave out crying, and in tears, but it is a part of history. And I like to tell them, if we didn't go through that, we would not have been where we are now today, and we would not appreciate the things that we went through or the struggles that we went through.
Maxine says dozens of historians pass through the museum every day, and so doing the necessary research on Bahamian history is of paramount importance.
I would love to see, persons, tours, extensive tours being done about the Bahamas, not just a sightseeing tour, we have so much more. And you have persons that actually come here that know about the Bahamas, and we have to know our history.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at a day in Bahamian history. On April 20th, 1965, a 564-foot bridge between Little and Great Exuma was officially opened. The bridge, which had a 112-foot coral embankment, was believed to be the first of its kind in this country. On April 20th, 1972, suffragan Bishop Michael Eldon was unanimously elected Bishop of the Anglican Church, becoming the first Bahamian to hold that post. The 41-year-old succeeded Bishop Bernard Markham, who returned to England after 10 years as head of the church here in the Bahamas.
You are meeting her here for the first time. Janisha Pineda is an assistant coach at one of the top 4 women's basketball programs in the United States, University of Louisville. She has roots in the Bahamas from her grandparents and parents. Let's just let her mom, Antoinette Harper, introduce her to the Bahamas and the Morning Edition.
Has been driven to play ever since she was 7 years old, and then her passion was to play in college, so she got an academic and a sports scholarship to play in Charlotte. From there, she became an intern at Georgia State, where she also became the assistant coach for Georgia Tech for about 2 years, and then she got her big break and went to Louisville.
Last year, Janisha was named to the Women's Basketball Coaches Association 30 and Under 30 list, recognizes 30 women basketball coaches across the country that are under the age of 30.
I credit my success in coaching to my upbringing. I was raised to be relentless in order to get opportunities. No one in my family has played college sports. I was the first. I learned and I've earned that opportunity by always working hard. And these are examples I've seen from my mother all my life. She was extremely a hard worker, raising 6 children by herself. I always knew I wanted to be successful. I thrived in academics. I was an average basketball player, but my work ethic and determination to be a coach, a leader, and someone that other people looked up to is what motivated me to be successful.
Whenever time allows, she visits the Bahamas sometime 2 to 3 times a year. And that mother-daughter bond is teamwork.
She calls me, Mom, can you tell me how to cook or teach me how to cook peas and rice or stew conch? So she wants to know how to make the Bahamian dishes. I played as well, but I'm not as good as her. But for the love of sport, to keep her busy and to keep her focused, I'm her #1 fan.
Her accomplishments so far stretches more than the length of a basketball court.
I am very proud of her. She's goal-driven. She sets her mind to what she wants to do and she goes for it. So her dream is to become a head coach of a major college, and she's on her way. And she loves what she do, and in her spare time she has summer camps. Her camp starts in June for the young girls. She started in Georgia with the camps, and I know she's looking forward to doing something here in the Bahamas with the young girls.
I would love to do camps, clinics, whatever I can to help the young women and young boys in the Bahamas. I think it would be huge for me to come back as long as I'm welcome to do so and as long as it's compliant with the NCAA regulations because I'm assistant coach. So that's definitely something I would plan to do and would love to do. Obviously, I will, work with the right people and get everything organized, but that is something I plan to do in the future.
And she leaves this word of advice to Bahamian girls with the same dream.
If you want that opportunity to play in college, coach in college or professionally, or even play in the WNBA, I would always say just work like you have the job you want. Every day, whatever opportunity that you have, you approach it. If it's your game, your practice, or if you're coaching. One thing I tell our players here is don't allow others' opinions of you to define you. Don't confuse success with significance. Stay the course, work your plan, and remember, trust the process because at the end of the day, work is work, and someone is going to value you and see it.
Great job. Another big day for Yushu Saint and the Indiana Tech men's baseball team. They picked up a pair of 14-4 wins in a doubleheader sweep off Clary. Saint went a combined 5-8 with a home run, triple, 2 doubles, 4 runs batted in, and also had 4 runs scored. Also, the college tennis season over for Aisha Shepard and the Jackson State Tigers. They lost in the final of the Southwestern Conference tournament to Alabama State. Shepard fell 6-2-3 in singles to Francesca Duca. She also lost in doubles with Tyra Nicole White 7-6. Well, coming up after the break, we take you inside the new and improved Cafe Johnny Canoe.
Some of us may not have eaten a meal at Cafe Johnny Canoe since childhood. Others have never heard of the brand. This morning, Keishla Adderley takes us into the recently reopened restaurant, which has reemerged on the new and improved Cable Beach Strip.
Cafe Johnny Canoe has wanted to get cooking ever since Cable Beach was reconfigured and the iconic restaurant was forced to close its doors. Owner Theo Picrominos is excited to restore the tradition.
Johnny Canoe started out as a brand in 1992 during a recession, and here we are again in challenging times and open during a pandemic. But at this present time, it's going extremely well for us. I mean, it could be a lot better, but we're not going to complain. We're thankful for every person that comes through the door.
COVID-19 presented the next hurdle. Manager Gary Smith said months of repairs and preparation to reopen came just in time.
We're kind of grateful that we're opening at hopefully the tail end of this COVID, which allows us to, acclimate and get everybody dialed in. it's happened pretty quickly. Everybody has gotten very used to the restaurant, and the staff is doing well. The kitchen's doing well. We're having no issues with getting food out in a timely manner, which is the success of Johnny Canoe, giving a quality product very quickly. So we're very pleased.
Operators say the restaurant has been serving up a decent number of customers lately, and they hope that as things progress with the COVID-19 pandemic, this pizza pie won't be the only thing they're serving up.
We were the first ones to implement John Canoe at a business. When we first did it, it was magical. It was just unbelievable. People sitting on the table and John Canoe was just passing and rushing by your table. It was magical, and it still is. And every time they get on and they start to play, everybody gets very, very excited. We're going to start that the minute the COVID police allow us to implement it.
And whenever you decide to get a taste of what the restaurant has to offer, Picraminos points out it's all authentic, including what has turned out to be one of the restaurant's signature dishes.
I think what's happened in all restaurants around us in both West and East and downtown is that they've been serving the sway or tilapia or cod. And Bahamians have gotten used to eating that. Now that we actually have grouper, they're gravitating to it.
Oh man, that pizza looks so good there. I think I'm gonna go there on Friday.
I can't tell you the last time I had a good home cook out restaurant.
What, you still cooking? I thought you said you're a good chef.
I on strike right now.
You're on a diet?
No, strike.
Oh, you sound like you're on a diet too.
I am on a strike.
I can hear you. Stomach growling over there.
You see this look like any diet?
Yeah,
This look like I'm dying for some good breakfast this morning. Yes, I'm on a strike. I'm not cooking at home because when I cook at home, I gotta wash the dishes, I gotta cook, I gotta do everything. So until they share the duties, I'm not.
So what happened to the women at home? They're not sharing
Netflix, YouTube, WhatsApp, that's all they do all day.
They're going to get you when you get home. And be sure to stay tuned to the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into Live at 5, the Northern Edition, and the Bahamas Tonight at 7 with Makush Lapinder. And that's a wrap for us this morning. I'm LaDon Davis.
And I'm Charles Fisher, not on a diet, but looking for a good meal.
Have a great morning, everyone.
Turn on the stalling, moving, raking, scraping my